Good evening, very good evening. I'm a little late today to post the lecture because I was stuck. My net wasn't working. Act was giving a lot of trouble, so that was one reason I could not record on time. I will try my level best to be on time. So some of the other technical reasons. Now let's get back to the important questions. That is, I finished yesterday. Till yesterday, my class I finished 6 questions. Now I'm trying to in your order. That is because I have to tell you, I have to remind you the moment I finish the 100 questions. So today it depends on information. You see, some questions have a lot of information. Some questions I need to explain. Taking some questions, I need to make sure I continue revising so that you will remember on hands. There should not be any problem when it comes to remembering these things. So therefore, I actually wanted to. If in case information is very less, explanation point is very less, definitely I'll increase the questions, but I'm trying my level best as of now. Okay, that's a difference. So let us not waste time in the precious 25 to 30 minutes. With reference to the recently approved National Mineral Policy 2019, okay, consider the following statements. Once again, I told you these 25-26 questions of current affairs will definitely make a hell lot of difference in your results, guys. And I'm telling you, the daily app may all those 5 or 10 questions what you are practicing, and these things will definitely. I'm straight taking you to prelims exam. Those of you are writing in October. All right. So there is a policy called National Mineral Policy of 2019. Regarding that, there are statements here. One statement is it encourages the private sector to take up the exploration. That is in fact one very important thing. Government has decided to invite private people to actually. Normally, what happens? Mining is something which is not completely open to private sector in India till date. There are certain mining activities where central government is involved. Very few, like oil is given to private because Reliance Group is doing. Iron ore is given to Tatas, and bauxite is given to Jindal, like this. So there are few mining activities with lot of restrictions. Actually, now this encourages private sector also to explore. Exploration is one thing. After exploring, then the mined material will be actually under control of government. But if you simply say only private people are there for exploration, later on they won't have any sharing in the revenue, etc. So they won't do it, right? Okay. In most of the countries, this is the policy. It proposes to grant status of industry. Actually, mining industry is a part of primary sector agriculture before. Later on, it has been moved to secondary sector. It is going to be recognized as one of the industry now, like cement industry, steel industry, oil industry, something like that, right? To boost financing of mining for the private sector. You understood now? So private companies are now allowed to explore and check out and find out and discover the mining material, whichever, maybe coal, maybe oil, maybe gold, maybe diamonds, maybe bauxite, maybe aluminium, maybe gypsum, maybe iron ore, whatever material that is basically helping us in boosting industrialization. Government has decided it's a high time that we need private people to invest and explore. Once they explore, then there are different modalities to be followed. Based on that, government will also what do you call approve about sharing up. So basically this policy is focusing more on involving private people, which was hitherto prohibited. Understood? So answer is quickly. I kept the answer in bold form, both 1 and 2. Now let's read the theory. Big theory is there. So the aim of national mineral policy is to have more effective, meaningful, implementable policy. Effective, meaningful, that is very important from your study point of view. It is effective, meaningful, and implementable. That means it indirectly says earlier policies were not effective. Earlier policies were not very simple. Earlier policies were not viable. That brings in further transparency, better regulation, enforcement, balance, social, economic growth, etc. There are many areas which were actually untouched because of lack of technology, because people were not allowed to explore what is hidden in the ground. So therefore, what happened? We focused more on Chhattisgarh, Orissa, West Bengal, and a lot of areas like were neglected completely. Otherwise, those areas might be very expensive for us to explore. Otherwise, some areas were actually politically motivated and they were given to only few people, and few people actually have participated. and few states were not given any incentives, few private people were not allowed to enter. Understood? Now that's the reason. So the policy, that I mean, the economy is moving towards more of transparency involving private people, and how basically when I want some private fellow to go for an exploration of mining, I obviously decide to have a policy what in what way I will be giving contracts to private people, right? So generally auction sale will be there, and we will call everybody, we will tell them, boss, this is so and so exploration point, and here if you do it, this is what the price we can give, this is what the percentage, this is what the sharing ratio, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so National Mineral Policy 2019 includes provisions which will give boost to the mining sector, such as introduction of right of first refusal, right of first refusal, RP and PL holders, encouraging private sector to take up exploration. So basically, right of first refusal for license holders, okay, registered professionals as well as private licensing holders. The encouraging the right private sector to take up exploration, and when I want to invite private sector, how do I actually give them auctioning in virgin areas, in the sense the areas which were actually not touched before. I mean, we had a proof that scientifically we had a proof in such areas which were not touched by before. There are minerals existing, but we could not do it because we didn't have money, we didn't have technology. None of the private people were actually allowed. Government wanted to do, government could not do. After so many years, we realized this. For composite RP cum PL cum ML, these abbreviations, yeah. Okay, revenue share basis, I mean, registered, I mean, we have licensing will be divided into three important modes, that is we can say uh, auctioning, or what do you call permanent licensing or temporary licensing, something like this. Transfer of mining leases and creation of dedicated mineral corridors to boost, I mean, we wanted to actually transfer mining leases. These are all licensing types, composite of RP, PL, and permanent license, and medium license, and a registered practitioner, something like this we have. Okay. So what we are actually thinking here is transferring of mining leases and creation of dedicated. That means we have decided earlier it was actually done completely by the government. Government could not do it, so government thought now it is better to delegate this very important function to private people. That is one thing. Then it proposes grant of status of industry. That means mining is going to be recognized as an industry, like textile industry, automobile industry, cement industry, software industry. We have got industries. No, every industry has SOPs and incentives from the government. Lot of incentives government is announcing. So we wanted to actually treat this mining activity as an industry. Okay, that is one thing. So in this way, what happens? Private people will be investing. Foreigners also will be allowed to invest certain extent. I mean, having joint venture. It also mentions long-term import and export policy for mineral will help private sector. That means if minerals are excavated or extracted here in India, and if in case such minerals do not have any demand in India, after extracting minerals in India, if in case Indian private sector which was involved directly, if they want to export, so that also we wanted to actually support. So if you see, number one, we wanted to go for auctioning through different licenses, and we wanted to actually recognize certain corridors or mining corridors. We wanted to give a status of industries to mining. These are all points, okay, for prelims. It also mentions that long term import exports we wanted to, dedicated mineral corridors we want to, auctioning we wanted to, on a revenue share basis. There are different types of licenses. Basically those licenses are going to decide how much of revenue, whether 60-40 or 50-50 or 80-20 or 70-30, what kind of revenue sharing central and private people. Like I'll tell you nowadays, suppose who's actually constructing international airport. International airport is actually constructed in Hyderabad, it is constructed GMR, right? In Bangalore GVK, Delhi GVK, something like this. So they have invested. Government did not spend single rupee. So they were given the airport for about 50 years. Whatever revenue that is earned by airport will be taken by GVK or GMR for 50 years. And GVK earns revenue, and certain portion of revenue, that is 20% to 30% depending on state to state, okay, Telangana I believe is 25%, will be given to Telangana government. That is for 50 years. So whatever 10,000 or 15,000 crores that were invested by the GMR will be reaped or earned in 50 years. They will be earning more than 35,000 crores. But government is also getting, the government has given land for free. Government did not charge anything for land. This is a public property. After 50 years, again that will be auctioned. Maybe any private company who would want to actually run that airport, they can take. This is what is called triple P method. National highways also the same thing. Toll tax is collected by private, and that will be going to central government, state government, something like that. All right. Yes. So we wanted to actually promote export and import of minerals that are required. Next, the policy also mentions rationalize reserved areas given to public sector units. Previously, what happens? There are certain mining areas which were exclusively reserved only to public sector enterprises, which were denied access to private people. And we wanted to actually rationalize, because government took them, but government could not effectively utilize that, productively could not actually mine properly because of the technology or because of government resources, etc., etc. So we wanted to actually give it to private. So reserved areas will now put for auction. You understood now? So therefore there's good. So overall, the gist of this, do you understand? We wanted to actually declare mining activities as industry, and we wanted to facilitate promotion of private sector, private entry in exploration of mining, which was hitherto means previously, which was previously dominated by government sector. That is one thing, right? Next, the policy also mentions making efforts to harmonize taxes, levies, loyalty with benchmarks, etc., etc. Because what happens is mining is a most lucrative and highly profitable if in case it is successful. So obviously what happens, there is every possibility government will get excited, private people with lot of difficulty will explore minerals, and government will get excited, will occupy later on. This happened in Ballari before. You heard about one political leader, Janardhan Reddy. He was a kingmaker in Ballari mining completely. Initially it was given to private people thinking that the minerals availability is very less. Then finally that fellow started minting money. Then government terribly got angry and it was so envious about that fellow, and later on so many new rules came into existence. Finally what happened? He's out. See, the policy of the government has to be very transparent from the beginning. It wasn't coal mining, coal scam also the same thing. Understood? Government was allowed, then subcontracts were given to private people. When our ex famous director of Telugu movie industry, Dasari Narayan Rao, was a coal minister that time, state minister, independent charge, and he was also booked into almost more than 750 crore scam. I mean to say, when there's no transparency, you gave it to government, but government has actually taken the help of different people and so much. I mean, the material which has been extracted, which has been actually mined, was not having a proper control. There was a lot of black marketing of mining, etc. Private people were indirectly. So instead of government fellow doing, and government officers, ministers having link and this nexus, etc., corruption and mined material again will be taken by private people, and this minister showing why all these things, let them only excavate. No, that is the thing. Alright, so once again, if you want me to revise this, I wanted you to understand that National Mineral Policy 2019, very important thing is we wanted to encourage private people to take up the exploration of mining where government previously could not do effectively, could not mine effectively. And we wanted to actually boosting of financing. So once the private sector is given, like GVK or GMR, whoever has constructed airport in airport sector, they have mobilized money. State governments gave a guarantee. As 15,000 crores they could not raise on their own. So similarly, if the mining takes sometimes 2-3 years you will continue mining money, you won't get anything. And one find a fourth year you will get everything. This happens, right? But anyway, frankly speaking, do you really think that government is capable of doing it? And do you really think that having ministry control, having political control, bureaucracy, blah blah, so many things, do you really think that it's going to be effective? Nowadays, everything government has allowed private people to take part so that the productivity and efficiency has been completely increased. Alright, that is one. So I hope you understood. Yes, this is how you have to read, please. So the first one is effective, meaningful, implementable policy we wanted to have. The first one is we wanted to give licenses through auction sale, different licenses, permanent, medium. Okay. Next, we wanted to actually declare certain areas as mineral corridors to boost private sector mining. Next, we wanted to give a industry status to mining so that all banking, loans, benefits, everything will be given. Next, we wanted to actually also facilitate export-import policy transparently so that there will be a stability in the business. Next, we want to always we wanted to give them licenses. We wanted to previously whatever areas which were reserved to public sector enterprises, we wanted to rationalize them and we wanted to give them to private people on an auction sale basis in the form of different licenses. Okay, next one, we also wanted to actually harmonize taxes because taxes were very heavy before, and we wanted to actually minimize the taxes to certain extent for private sector, because private sector will not come forward unless and until you tell them one very important news, that taxes are going to be little less. Use headphone when you are listening to my class. If in case you have a high-end laptop, high volume, very good. If you are listening these lectures on phone, you are still wasting time. Trust me. Otherwise, at least iPad or any pad, notepad you buy, is hardly, I think, 15-20,000 also you will get. On a loan basis you take. Otherwise system, otherwise laptop. Phones may, if you are using 100%, you mentally decided not to. Otherwise good phone. Though Chinese Chinese phones we are rejecting, but better to have Vivo or Oppo. Classic, Clarity, etc. Anyway, better thing. I mean, not small phones. No, hereafter your next 3-4 months learning is going to be mostly online, boss. So let us listen to these classes more effectively. Don't give a second grade attitude to these lectures, please. My sincere request, because I hope I'm making better civil servants, not normal ordinary civil servants, please. Always understand that. All right, understood. Let's quickly move on. Consider following statements about Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Uttan Mahabhiyan, PM Kusum. You must have read very recently. I also conducted I think test on this once. I remember. PM Kusum, Kisan, farmer, Urja, Suraksha, Evam, Uttam, Mahabhiyan. It aims to provide financial and water security to farmers. That is true. It aims to provide financial and water security to farmers through harnessing solar energy. So there are two very important things. Number one, we wanted to actually provide financial assistance, and we also want to provide water security to farmers so that irrigation will not be affected, cultivation is not going to be affected. Watering of certain crops are very important in certain areas. That is in fact a major problem. Ever since we got independence, there has been a major problem in most of the dry areas which actually receive scanty rainfall. Scanty in the sense very less rainfall. Understood? And it involves the installation of, so basically we wanted to promote water security, and for that water security you need certain equipment, and that equipment we wanted to actually provide through solar energy. Solar energy के लिए आपको finance चाहिए. You need money for solar energy, solar panels, etc., etc. So for that we will provide them financial assistance, especially if in case they want to use that not for a Diwali celebration of a house or something, but for agriculture purpose. It involves installation of 17.50 lakh standalone solar powered agriculture pumps. So all solar powered agriculture pumps are going to be provided through assistance, financial assistance. That is basically called PM Kusum. And both the statements are true. Let's look at this briefly. Alright, Kisan Urja Suraksha PM Kusum scheme was launched recently to provide financial and you understood. Now we are going to provide financial facility for all the farmers when they want to purchase solar pumps. Got it now? Yes, very nice. You understood. The proposed scheme consists of these three important components are very important for you with respect to prelims as well as mains examination. Nowadays mains questions are very generic, boss. Common man using a common sense in an uncommon way, having a knowledge can present mains. Trust me. I felt always when I wrote 2 times mains, I felt mains was easier than prelims. This prelims is like shaving our head only every day. Whereas mains, no. Dimag use karo. We'll see the questions once this is over. Okay, I'll also, maybe next week I also thought weekly at least 2 essays you must write. I'll also give you, because I have some tight schedule with other classes. Once that is over, I'm going to focus more on you. Alright, Component A, 10,000 megawatts of decentralized ground mounted grid connected renewable power plants. Okay, that is 10,000 decentralized ground mount. Next, installation of 17.5 lakh, component B, to agriculture pumps. Then solarization of 10 lakh existing connected solar power. Existing pumps, we wanted to solarize them. We wanted to convert them into solar energy, and we wanted to install standalone 10,000 megawatts worth of solar energy we wanted to actually produce. That's it. This 10,000, 7.50, 10 lakhs. Remember, that is the keyword to find out this. In prelims, obviously, my experience shows that this is our 10th component A, 10,000 megawatts of decentralized power plants, overall power plants to provide renewable energy. The next one, installation of 7.5 lakh standalone on pump sets and 10 lakh grid connected. So I mean, existing pump sets are going to be converted into solar. Understood? That is one thing. Next one, all the three components combined scheme add to the scheme has decided to add a solar energy capacity of 25,750 megawatts by 2022. It's pretty amazing, introduced by government. The total central financials of this is what these programs are to reach people. To reach people only, there are collectors, IAS officers in the district. One lady in Warangal, she got so much of name, and one lady in Karnataka also. She is from Andhra, IAS selected. I'm telling you, she's a rebel star in Karnataka. What is an Sindhuri? Yes, Sindhuri. I'm telling you, ladies who are listening to me, trust me, there's a lot you can do for this. And people might mess with gent IAS officers because there is every possibility men can bend themselves for two things. One is money, second thing is women. Because men, bureaucrats of any field, any higher level, these men will have these two weaknesses. That is quite natural. In other countries, nobody bothers about it, but in India, it's a big thing. Women will be only concerned about it's very difficult. I'm telling you, not all people, of course. Convincing women with money is very difficult because her consciousness will not agree. Even if she does a mistake, Smita Sabharwal, once she was affected very badly, and one more case related to Jagan cases, one more IAS, she was affected very badly. But she said everything in front of CBI. Because, so most of the ladies, hiding evil things for you is very difficult. Especially this kind of. I'm not saying all, it maybe 10% extraordinary people will there. So that's why what happens is the selection last 3 years, if you could see, it's news for ladies, girls. I'm telling you, number of girls who have been selected are increasing because government badly it is badly in need of dynamic women bureaucrats so that corruption can be minimized. There are so many things which can be okay. Anyway, that we will see. That motivation is a different thing. So overall, we would like to increase the solar capacity of 25,750 megawatts by 2022. The total central financial support is going to be around 34,000 crores. So next question is going to be how much overall solar capacity is going to be increased and how much government has earmarked for this particular thing, that is 34,422. The scheme, okay, anyway, it's overall we can say this scheme is basically meant for farmers welfare, focusing, emphasizing more on where solar energy, for irrigation, water support. For that they need basically the 24 hours electricity. That might not be possible. Instead we have to replace that with the help of this. So once again, if you could see, number one, this is PM Kusum program is decided to go for 10,000 megawatts decentralized power plants. Then we have decided to install agriculture solar pumps 17.5 lakh, and we already have decided 10 lakh existing power existing pumps to be converted to solarized. And by 2022 we would like to add a solar energy capacity in agriculture that is up to 25,750 megawatts, and government has earmarked a financial support in this regard to farmers 34,422 crores. And this program overall we can jump to a conclusion that it is meant for farmers welfare. Alright, I hope you have come to one understanding. I think by the third lecture you must have come to an understanding how minutely we are supposed to focus on certain things. This is how exactly. Be aggressive, be stubborn, be focused. No matter what happens during the day, but end of the day in the evening you must be cool. You must focus on your whatever you are expected to do. Look at the third one for today. Consider following pairs of recently launched schemes in respect of swords. You must have read in the newspaper that it's compiled in there. The Shreya scheme and Vandan scheme. Vandan scheme. Shreya scheme, Ministry of Human Resource Development. Yes, it is true. And Vandan scheme, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So what are these schemes? Let us see. Got it now? This is the order generally will be given, but I am trying to give you concepts so that, but suppose if I give you more negative answers here, you are such a smart fellow, you might remember negative answers for final exam, because some of you will be so lazy you won't take this printout and file them, but some of you will be so sincere, whenever you get time go out and take a printout and file them, and sometimes keep revising before you go for exam. Revision. I have never seen any human being in this world or in this country who became civil servant without revising 3 times. That Trinity principle you have to follow. But that's up to you. Your dreams will remain as dreams unless and until you really do something. I believe in always one principle. If you want to do something which you have never got it, then you have to do something different. Whichever frame you want to phrase it also, that's a different story. Hope you are serious, right? Yeah. Look at this. So Ministry of Human Resource Development has launched a scheme called Higher Education. So here we have Human Resource Department, Tribal Department, Shreyas, and this one, Shreyas program. See, higher education. First one is higher education. Skills, apprenticeship skills, Shreyas. For providing industry apprenticeship opportunities to generate graduates exiting in April 2019 through national, this is where NAPS, National Apprenticeship Promotional Scheme. All the graduates, in India, ever since last 50 years, one of the major important issue, traditional degrees like BA, BCom, BSc, MA, MCom, MSc. And thereafter, the graduate will go to company, will go to an office, and he will get confused. He doesn't know what he studied. He doesn't know what is happening right in front of him. Thanks to privatization, ever since private people have come, they are actually providing some training skills, etc., etc. Like if you see Western countries, they say, boss, you are qualified, your master's okay, do you have the skill that I need? So that's why most of the people, even after graduation or this one, they will go for skill development. This is a copy program of Western countries. Slowly we are doing. So basically it aims at Indian youth employability. Understood? Job exposure, etc. You want skill development program basically, that is Shreyas for higher education. Then Ministry of Tribal Affairs also, Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development, TriFed, launched Vandan scheme in 2018 to improve tribal income through value addition of tribal products. I mean, this is basically a program where we wanted to actually promote tribal. We wanted to provide marketing facilities. We wanted to provide marketing facilities and sales training for the tribal people who are actually producing certain products, because they are unique and they will be demanded, they will be purchased by people. If not in our country, other countries definitely will do. Then Human Resource Development shares scheme for higher education, youth apprenticeship skills for providing this tribal this one then scheme for minimum support price. So whatever products that are actually produced by tribal people, we wanted to do this scheme. Which scheme? To this Vandan scheme, we wanted to actually provide minimum price for them so that they will be encouraged to produce. Understood? Okay. Yes. So Vandan is for marketing of tribal products and give them minimum support price. Shreyas is basically to provide skill development for higher education students. That one you remember. One is in 2018, Vandan is in 2018, and this one is in 2018 program, 2019 program. One is Ministry of Human Resource Development, skill development, no, and Vandan is basically for tribal ministry. Okay, see there, ministry very clearly, tribal ministry, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Understood, guys? See how much of time, 3 questions only it is taking. So that means if you are able to practice 100 questions like this, almost you will cover entire year. I am guaranteeing 40 marks with these questions you have to score. That's what my challenge, and I'm going to do it. I have that experience. You don't have to worry. Go ahead with this and hope and pray that we will come back to normal classroom classes very soon. I'm hoping that will happen very soon. Let's see. Okay, have a good day. Thank you.